morning, children. Now, exams are over. You all might be feeling quite relaxed. But on the other hand, the most awaited moment for you all is knowing the marks. So just calm down. The time is coming closer to know your marks, the scores which you all have scored in the exams. But let's continue with our studies as the final exams are approaching. So today we are going to start with geography. Children, just tell me which season is going on. Of course, we are bidding farewell to the rainy season and we are waiting for the winters to come. Have you ever thought why these change of seasons they take place and what are the factors that affect our climate? Yes, so the ultimate cause is the rotation of the earth. So today our chapter which we are going to start is climate. Here we will be dealing first of all with the difference between the climate and weather. Then we will be studying about the different factors which control the climate of a particular place or region. So let's start with the definition of climate as well as weather. So children, we were talking about the different types of climate. Let's make it more clear with the help of these slides. As you can see in this picture, the slides related with the different climatic conditions. Now, let's differentiate between the weather and the climate. What is weather? Weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. The elements of weather are temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind speed, humidity and precipitation. Again children, I want to repeat the definition of weather as what is weather? Weather refers to the state of the atmospheric over an area at any point of time. Children, it is very clear here to understand any point of time, any particular time period. And the elements of weather are temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind speed, humidity and precipitation. For example, if we are to talk about today's weather, then we can say that maximum weather is 29 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature is 29 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. Now moving on to climate. Climate refers to the average weather condition and variations over a large area for a long period of time, like more than 30 years. And there are many types of climates. Children, again I want to repeat the definition of climate. As to what is climate? Climate refers to the average weather condition and variations over a large area for a long period of time. Children, do you remember what we studied in weather? It's a point of time, and here in climate it is a long period of time. And we know that there are many types of climates like monsoon type of climate, desert type of climate, Caribbean type of climate. Now children, do you know how this climate gets changed or how it is affected? So coming on to our next topic is climatic controls, which means that how or what are the factors which affect the climate of any place. So, we can easily see and speak that there are 6 major controls of the climate of any place. Means there are 6 factors which control or which affect the climate of any place. First is latitude. Due to the curvature of the earth, the amount of solar energy received varies according to latitude, which means due to the movement of the earth, the solar energy received varies according to the latitude, and this will be explained clearly later on in the coming slides with the help of a diagram. Children, as we move on from equator to the higher latitudes, the temperature keeps on decreasing because at the center, that is in 0 degree equator, the direction of the sun is direct, that is the sun's rays fall directly on the equator. So, the maximum temperature is there at the equator. Now, the next is altitude. Altitude, in simple words, we can say the height of any given place. As one goes from the surface of the earth to higher altitudes, the atmosphere becomes less dense and temperature decreases. This is very clear when you imagine that if you have travelled to any of the hill stations. As you move higher and higher up in any of the hill station, what do you find? You find that the temperature decreases. So, it is very clear that when we move on to a greater height, there is less of hotness and the temperature becomes more pleasant. The temperature decreases as we go to a greater height. Then next is pressure and wind system. The pressure and wind system of any area depend on the latitude and altitude of the place. Thus, it influences the temperature and rainfall pattern. So, here it is clear that the pressure and wind system of any area depend on both the factors together, latitude and altitude of any place, and it also influences the temperature and the rainfall system. Then the next is distance from the sea. As the distance from the sea increases, its moderating influence decreases and the people experience extreme weather conditions. This condition is known as continentality. So, here it is clear that as the distance from the sea increases, as we move away from the sea, its moderating influence decreases, its effect lessens, and the people experience extreme weather conditions. Vice versa, when we are closer to the sea, we experience the humid climate, and when we go away from the sea, we experience the extreme climate, extreme weather conditions, and this condition is known as continentality. Next is ocean currents. Ocean currents along with onshore winds affect the climate of the area. For example, any coastal area with warm or cold ocean currents flowing past it will be warmed or cooled if the winds are onshore. So, children, ocean currents is another factor which affects the climate of that particular area. For example, any coastal area, the area which is nearby the sea, if the warm currents flow, or the cold ocean currents flow. So that particular place will be either warmed up or cooled up if the winds are on the shore. Now the last is relief. It plays a major role in determining the climate of a place. High mountains, they act as barriers for cold or hot winds. They may cause rainfall if they are high enough and lie in the path of rain-bearing winds. So what does it mean? Relief plays a major role in determining the climate of a place. And we all are very much familiar, children. High mountains like the Himalayas, they act as barriers for cold or hot winds. And these winds, they may also cause rainfall if they are high enough. These mountains, they may also cause rainfall if they are high enough and they lie in the path of rain bearing winds. So altogether these are the 6 major factors which affect the climate of a given place. Now as I have told you, what we have explained just now, it is clearly explained with the help of the given example. This is the altitude, children. As we are going upwards at the greater height, the oxygen level is coming down. This is the continentality which I have explained, that is the distance from the sea and the closeness towards the sea. This is when the sun's rays fall directly at the equator, and that particular area experiences very hot temperature, very warm climate over there, and this is about the wind pressure, the winds which are flowing. So this I have just explained you. Now Coriolis force. What is this Coriolis force? Sorry children, it's Coriolis force. An apparent force caused by the earth's rotation. The Coriolis force is responsible for deflecting towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. I want to repeat this. What is Coriolis force? It is a force which is caused by the earth's rotation, and this Coriolis force, it is responsible for deflecting the winds towards the right in the northern hemisphere, that is the winds which are coming from the Himalayas from the northern side, they are deflected towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. So this is the major work of this force, and it is caused by the earth's rotation. Now children, jet stream. What are these jet streams? These jet streams, they are a narrow belt of high altitude westerly winds in the troposphere, and these streams are located approximately over 27 degree to 30 degree north latitude. Therefore, they are called subtropical westerly jet streams. Their speed varies from 110 km per hour. So what are streams? Jet streams, children, they are a narrow belt of high altitude westerly winds. So they are the westerly winds which blow in the troposphere. Children, till now you are very much familiar with the different spheres in the atmosphere. So these winds, they blow at a greater altitude in the troposphere, and these streams, they are located approximately 27 degree to 30 degree north latitude. So therefore they are called subtropical westerly jet streams. So children, that's all for today, and these definitions, they are very clearly mentioned in the book, and they are very important topics. All the topics which I have explained you today, they are very important topics, and the questions are definitely asked on these topics. So mark it in the book, frame short questions and try to remember it. I want to conclude my today's class by suggesting few tips, small tips, children, which you all are very much familiar as we are going through this pandemic. So I suggest all my dear children to eat as much vegetables as they can, eat fruits as much as they can, then cereals, and then proteins. And I know, children, everybody knows what is the advantage of eating these foods. Yes, they increase your immunity level and they will keep you healthy, fit and fine. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day.